We're starting this episode a bit differently. Sadly, Chuck Norris passed away last week, and this is just me taking a moment to look back at a legend I grew up watching. His movies were a big part of my childhood, and honestly, he's a big part of why I got into action films and took up martial arts. So this is me ranking what I think are his 25 best movies. Kicking off our list at number 25 is Forest Warrior. Chuck stars as Jebediah McKenna, a mystical protector who teams up with a group of kids to save the forest from greedy developers. The family-friendly adventure angle makes it a very different kind of Chuck Norris movie, but that easygoing fantasy vibe gives it a charm of its own. At number 24, we have The Cutter. Chuck plays John Shepard, a private investigator who takes on a missing persons case involving an elderly diamond cutter, stolen jewels, and dangerous criminals. It mixes mystery and action, giving Chuck one of his later detective-style roles. Coming in at number 23 is The President's Man. Chuck plays Joshua McCord, a secret agent who works directly for the president while also preparing a possible replacement for his job. The mix of espionage, training, and rescue action gives this one a made-for-TV action film. Next, we have Top Dog, where Chuck plays Jack Wilder, a tough cop who is forced to team up with a police dog while trying to stop a terrorist plot. The buddy cop setup gives this movie a lighter tone than most of Chuck's movies. At number 21 is Hellbound. Chuck stars as Frank Shutter, a Chicago detective who ends up facing a supernatural enemy while investigating a strange murder case.
Come on, let's see how tough you really are. You call that a hit?
The horror and fantasy elements make it one of the more unusual movies in his filmography. Next, we've got Sidekicks. Chuck Norris co-stars as himself, helping a young boy with dreams of becoming a martial artist. It's a funny and entertaining movie that I loved as a kid, and I suspect most of you did as well. Coming in at number 19 is Hero and the Terror. Chuck plays a cop who must capture a serial killer he already captured before. It's a suspenseful and dramatic film with the legend in the lead. At number 18, we have The Hitman. Chuck stars as a cop who goes undercover as a hitman to infiltrate a crime syndicate. The undercover plot and Chuck's tough-as-nails performance makes this a really good watch. Next is An Eye for an Eye. Chuck Norris plays Sean Kane, a cop who goes rogue to avenge his partner's death. It's a classic revenge tale with plenty of Chuck Norris action. It's a straightforward revenge action movie that doesn't overcomplicate things, but it moves fast and gives you plenty of action. Coming in at number 16 is Silent Rage. Chuck plays a sheriff who battles a genetically engineered serial killer. The intense showdown between Norris and the serial killer makes this a standout film. Next, we have Braddock Missing in Action 3. Chuck returns as Colonel Braddock, this time on a mission to rescue his Vietnamese wife and son. Honestly, I do think this was a kind of step down from the earlier films, but I still enjoy it for the familiar Braddock formula. Next is Forced Vengeance. Chuck plays Josh Randall, a casino security guard in Hong Kong who seeks revenge after his boss's murder. Personally, I like this one mostly for the martial arts side of it. The story is nothing special, but the Hong Kong setting and the fight scenes make it a good movie. Coming in at number 13 is Firewalker. Chuck teams up with Louis Gossett Jr. in this action comedy adventure. The blend of humor and action makes this a fun departure from Chuck's usual serious roles. Next, we've got Delta Force 2, The Colombian Connection. Chuck returns as Major Scott McCoy, taking on a drug cartel in South America. The exotic setting and the intense combat scenes make this sequel a worthy follow-up to the original. At number 11 is Good Guys Wear Black. Chuck Norris stars as John T. Booker, a former commando who becomes a target of a government conspiracy. The intrigue and action, combined with Chuck's macho performance, make this a must-watch. Coming in at number 10 is A Force of One. Chuck this time plays a karate champion hired to help the police catch a serial killer. The film blends martial arts with a crime story. I like this one mainly for the martial arts, for the fight between Chuck Norris and Bill Wallace. Next, we have Breaker Breaker, where Chuck plays a trucker named J.D. Dawes who takes on a corrupt town to rescue his brother. It's not a polished movie at all, but there is a scrappy low-budget charm that makes it really fun. At number 8 is Missing in Action. Chuck stars as Colonel James Braddock, a Vietnam War veteran who returns to Vietnam to rescue POWs. For me, this is one of Chuck's best. It gives you exactly what you want from him. Next, we have The Octagon, where Chuck played Scott James, a martial artist who must stop a terrorist organization involving ninjas. The unique storyline and the good fight scenes make this film a cult classic. Next is Invasion USA, where Chuck plays Matt Hunter, a retired CIA agent who takes on Soviet-backed terrorists. It's packed with explosive action, making this movie a quintessential 80s action flick. Now breaking into the top 5 is Code of Silence. Chuck stars as a tough Chicago cop who battles corruption and a drug cartel. The intense action scenes and Norris's gritty portrayal of a no-nonsense cop make this movie stand out. Now at number 4 is Missing in Action 2. This prequel shows the origins of Colonel Braddock and his time as a POW in Vietnam. It's got a really gripping story with some good action scenes. It's a simple, stripped-down prison camp film, which is very straightforward, but the survival angle and the revenge payoff make it work. At number 3, we have The Delta Force, where Chuck Norris teamed up with Lee Marvin to lead an elite squad of commandos on a rescue mission. This movie is a high-octane thrill ride from start to finish, with adrenaline-pumping action sequences and Chuck's portrayal of a fearless leader who stops at nothing to get the job done. Now our runner-up is Lone Wolf McQuade, where Chuck stars as Texas Ranger J.J. McQuade. This movie showcased Chuck's rugged charm and his ability to take down bad guys with style. For me, this is Chuck's best movie where he's in the starring role. It has the attitude, the Western flavor, and one of the coolest Chuck Norris performances we've ever seen. Now taking the #1 spot, we have The Way of the Dragon. Now I know this is actually a Bruce Lee movie, but the intense final battle between Lee and Norris is probably one of the best fight scenes ever made. And it belongs in the top spot just because of that. But even beyond that, the film has a lasting impact, and without Chuck in the movie wouldn't be as unforgettable. And there you have it, my ranking of Chuck Norris's top 25 movies. May the legend rest in peace. Now, did you agree with my list? Let me know in the comments which of his movies are your favorite. Thanks for watching, please like, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.